What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Crash Play Gaming. I am your host, Crash, and I told you that I had a future iteration of the deck that I did last video, I believe, and it can now handle evolution and basic decks. This is what we're doing. I'm sure you can guess who the basic handler is, but anyways, let's just go ahead and jump right into the deck list. Alright, we got another Gardevoir control deck featuring Bronzong with the Evolution Jammer attack. For 1 energy, does 30 damage, and during our opponent's next turn, they cannot evolve Pokemon from their hand, which is awesome. We also have a way to handle basics with the Noivern EX with the Covert Flight attack. During our opponent's next turn, we prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from basic Pokemon. So we have basic decks covered, we have evolution decks covered. What we don't have covered is the mix, but we try to cover those with having an attacker in Drifloon in the deck. We have the Gardevoir line with the Psychic Embrace and Kirlia to help us kind of do that. So basically, if you're going up against a deck that is both, you want to stall with Bronzong if you can. You want to stall with Noivern if you can, and then you kind of want to hope that you can get the Drifloons and Gardevoirs to clean up your mess, is basically what I'm going for here. But we also have one copy of Mew to kind of help out with restart abilities. But this deck is pretty much the same. I just switched out a few things here and there to be able to handle both evolution and non-evolution decks, but we can't handle the mixture, which is really tough. But 4 Buddy-Buddy Poffin, 2 Vessels, 1 Pal Pad, 1 Rod, 4 Ultra Balls, 2 Practice Studio, which come in handy sometimes. 3 Arven, 1 Boss, 1 Colress, 2 Eri. Eri is also another way that you can handle with the mixed decks. If you can get their rare candies out, it helps. But like I said, if you're doing a mixed deck, you have to like catch it in time. But anyways, 4 Iono, 1 Turo, 2 Salvatore. This supporter allows us to get Noivern or Bronzong into the active on turn 2 and start attacking if we want to. On turn 1, actually, or turn 1. But it's really good for Bronzong turn 1. Allowing us to evolve there. We have 1 Bravery Charm and 1 Hero's Cape. These are specifically in here for the Drifloon so they can hit the high damage output if we need them to. So don't just put these on any Pokemon unless you have to. We're also playing 2 copies of Mist Energy. Roaring Moon is still out there. Roaring Moon can get through Noivern, so we kind of had to throw in the Mist Energy so that Noivern can handle getting knocked out by an effect. One thing I will say is I took out the Devolution TM, and maybe I could see cases where it happens, where you want to use it. In matchups like Charizard, there are times where you just can't get Bronzong out early enough, and they're able to evolve. But if you could de-evolve them and then have Bronzong attack, it's just so much better. So I do see a case for playing TM Devo. You are playing Arven as well, so it could go in there. I just don't know what to cut, honestly. Maybe the Colress experiment, but the extra draw really helps. Maybe you could cut Manaphy. I mean, Greninja's not that bad anymore. Actually, I think you could cut Manaphy. Maybe I should have cut Manaphy. Anyways, whatever. Deck list will be in the description down below. Let's go watch it in action. Okay, we're going up against the Ancient box. So that means we want to get down our dudes here. Noibat for sure. What do I Ultra Ball away for Noibat, though? Earthen Vessel away, the Bravery Charm, get 2 energy. That and Mew, I suppose? Yeah, we don't need Drifloons either, so I think that'll work. We'll do that. Get rid of those 2 and grab a Noibat so we can get into Noivern as soon as possible. We'll do that. And you know what? We'll throw down the Hero's Cape. Why not? If they have Lost Vacuum, so be it. But it makes it harder to KO the Noibat right off the bat. Noibat right off the bat. So that way it survives. We don't care if Bronzor gets KO'd this turn. We actually want Bronzor to get KO'd as soon as possible. And I can get Kirlia and Gardevoir picked up with Turo at some point. But actually I don't think we have to pick up anything because this deck usually plays the Awakening Drum and not Prime Catcher. And they may only play 1 boss depending on which version this is. So we should be okay. Here comes down the Greninja. Do they have a Sada play with another Ancient? They won't get the KO if they have Sada without another Ancient. And to be honest, I may promote the Ralts. Super Rod, they do lose their boss, which is good to see. And an Ancient Capsule, but that's fine. We don't really care about the Capsule. Pokegear can get them their Sada for sure. Okay, they need another Ancient Pokemon to KO the Bronzor. Bronzor stays alive for 1 more turn. Ah, bummer. Alright, that's fair. I believe they do have another energy in their hand. Question is, should I promote the Noibat or the Ralts? I think the Ralts, because we don't really care if Ralts gets KO'd anymore. And it gives us a turn. I'm not guaranteed to hit Noivern. So I think this is the best thing to do. See, it drew an Ultra Ball. So we got an Iono. Unfortunately, we top decked the Ultra Ball. It would have been good for this coming turn. Okay, we still got another Ultra Ball. So Noivern's up. Let's get rid of you and Arven. Yeah. Gives us a Noivern. Is there a way that we can use the Pokestop to get us to where we want to be? No. There's no switch or anything. There's no switch or anything, so there's really no need to Pokestop. So we'll just attach the energy there and let them KO Ralts. There's no way they can hit 360 damage, so they don't have evolution Pokemon. We should be fine. We're going to stop playing cards, and this is, you know, in like a couple videos ago when I was doing the Arceus control, this is what Noivern does. We just beat out basic decks really easily. They do get a great Tusk down, so they will be able to mill us effectively for a couple turns. But as long as we can work ourselves around that, we should be fine. They get Pokegear and Nest Ball. It's good for them. This can probably get them a... what's that Pokemon called? Roaring Moon. Salamence. Roaring Moon, whatever. You know, here's something I have about the Ancient Future Pokemon. Why couldn't they just call them Ancient Salamence? Or, like, you know, Future Salamence or whatever? They had to give them completely different names. Makes it harder. Like, you have to remember more things now. You know? Like, I don't know the whole story between the Ancient and Future. Like, Salamence was a Roaring Moon and evolved into, like, it morphed into a Salamence, I suppose? It's weird, right? Weird. So they're going to retreat into the Great Tusk and start milling me, I suppose? Which is fine. They're going for the mill strategy because they can't hit my Noivern. And we don't lose anything we really care about. We're going to keep the Iono, and actually I'm not going to play it. We're going to retreat into our Noivern and Covert Flight. It's going to take us 3 hits to KO this Great Tusk, but hopefully they can't really recycle this very well. And we should be able to mop up from here. I don't think they'll be able to mill us out. Their deck is not built to do the mill strategy all the way. But it can be. There's another 4 cards we're going to lose. We do have Super Rods at least. We have an Iono in our hand. So we can draw some more cards. There's another Land Collapse. We do lose our Pal Pad though. Mist Energy, not necessary. We're just going to Covert Flight. Take the KO in the next turn. They're going to mill 12 cards, but they're losing out on supporters. They haven't played a Pal Pad back yet. They do have Explorer's Guidance still. There's an Awakening Drum. And they almost have more cards in their hand than they do in their deck. This is insane. I think they're digging for another Ancient Supporter, but 15 cards. They should definitely have an Ancient Supporter. Oh, they didn't. Wow. Oh, they hit the Practice Studio. No. An Energy. That's good for us. We'll cover Fight, take the KO on the Great Tusk. And no more milling for now from our opponent. Get a prize, which is good for Iono. Hey, another Practice Studio. I don't know if we need to play Practice Studio. We're hitting 70. Hitting 80 doesn't make a difference, even if they attach a booster capsule. So I don't see a point in doing Covert Flight. They just pass the turn. I guess they're going to be waiting to get into their their Rod. So they can bring back the Great Tusk to start milling me again. But thankfully I have an Iono, and Iono will put at minimum 5 cards back on my next turn. And we just start attacking from here. They did play an Awakening Jump, so we don't really have to worry about a boss Prime Catcher combo anymore. So Ralts is fine to stay there. There's the Super Rod. And here comes back the Great Tusk. A couple energies. Fair. They're going to try to Great Tusk me out of the game, but it's not going to work. Ultra Ball back the Great Tusk, sure. What is that? I haven't seen this card before. Fluttermane? Oh, that's cool. I didn't know Fluttermane had a nice art. Sure, they grabbed Great Tusk. How many Super Rods do they play? 2, right? I think they play 2 Super Rods. We haven't seen them play a Pal Pad, so they have 1 Sada remaining somewhere. Could be here. They won't be able to attack this turn, though. They should have Explorer's Guidance, but they can't really play that many Explorer's Guidance either. Which is hilarious. Do we attack here? I think it's correct to not... Oh, we have to attack. I have to attack. I have to attack to have Covert Flight on. Dang it, I thought, oh, that would be good if we couldn't attack, force them to use resources to retreat. There's a boss. I don't know if boss does this any good. Everything has a 2 retreat cost, so it doesn't really matter. They bring up the Koraidon, though. Why the Koraidon? Funny enough, Koraidon can actually hit us if they had a fire energy. So hey, if you're playing Ancient Box and you see this deck, add a fire energy, Koraidon could do some work. Hits for 130, so it could 2-shot a normal Noivern, I believe. 260, yeah, it does exactly 2-shot a Noivern. So they retreat our opponents down to 4 cards. They can't play Sada next turn, and they can't play an Explorer's Guidance, so they're not going to mill us more than just this. And we have an Iono in our hand, which is going to put back a ton of cards. We lost some cards that we don't care about. We still have a Rod in the deck, I think. So that's all good for us. We'll go ahead and cover Flight. And now they're only going to be milling 1 at a time, unless they figure out a way to put some more cards back into their deck this turn. Because Sada will deck them out, and so will Explorer's Guidance. And they basically just had to mill themselves. Energy onto the Roaring Moon. A Land Collapse hits an energy, which is fine. And Great Tusk is going to go down here. And this is Guardian Control, man. If we don't use Bronzong, we use Noivern, and we just lock out the game. Which is really good. This is the deck I was working on. Eri would be nice. I can play an Eri here. Get rid of a Rod if they have it, but they might have it now. But I mean, it doesn't really matter. They're down to 2 cards. They have to have an Iono, I suppose. But this deck doesn't play an Iono. So they're out of luck. They've come across the hard counter to the basic deck. And they do have a counter catcher, get a KO on Ralts. Double counter catcher. Oh no. Oh no. Double counter catcher? I didn't think of the double counter catcher. They have 2 counter catchers. Oh, they put boss back in. Are they not playing more than 1 counter catcher? Can they hit 360 though? We'll find out if they can hit 360. I don't know how much they're doing. Can they hit the 360? They can Lost Vacuum the thing away. Oh my gosh. Oh no, we're gonna have to play a little bit. Oh, bummer. They could definitely hit 260. This is not good. Forgot about counter catcher. They're putting more cards. Maybe they couldn't hit 260 yet, so they're getting rid of more cards, which is fine. I think we can trap the Koraidon. They took one energy out, so they got one card left. Played on another Roaring Moon. Energy onto the Roaring Moon, so we can trap the Koraidon, I think. 270. Oh man, good on them. I needed to pick up the Ralts and I never did. It's fine. Good play on them. They do have one card remaining. There's a Noibat, so we'll play down a Noibat, play down a Ralts. Mist Energy on Noibat, and we will boss up the Koraidon. And we're going to hold on to the Kirlia. We'll pass. I don't think they have the energy to retreat the Koraidon, and they can't play Asada. So they'd have to Super Rod stuff back in. That's their last card. They had a penny. Weirdly enough, this deck was playing a penny. There's a Rod. And we have Salvatore in hand to go into another Noivern, which they didn't mill another Noivern, right? They did not. So this is why we play a 2-2 line Noivern here. Okay. Go up with Noibat. Oh man, that was crazy. I did not see them coming. There's Turo, but we got a Salvatore into the Noivern EX. Attach the energy and go ahead, and they concede. All right, we were able to get around that crazy play. Good job with them for having to answer that. We didn't get Turo quick enough, but still able to hold out long enough to make them not have resources to win. V. Okay, I don't know if Bronzor is really going to help us here, but we're going to play it. We need to find Noibat, I think. This looks like a basic deck. Fortunately, we're not able to show off Bronzong in this video. It's really weird, but whatever. We're definitely going to play the Kirlia. Because we don't care if they get knocked out, we can use a little bit extra draw power to find Noivern and go from there. Capturing Aroma. Oh, that means they play evolutions. Okay, Pidgeot, who cares? Colress. I don't know what we're playing up against, but we'll find out shortly. Ooh, 2 fire energies. Could be a Charizard, okay, Charcadet, Pidgey. Could have Armor GX. So we're going to need both Bronzong and Noibat. Noivern. To kind of get us through this. They may have Eri for the rare candy. Makes me... Oh, not Eri. They have Forest Hill Stone for the rare candy. Sucks for them. I'm going to attach that there, and we're going to Iono to get rid of the card that they V-Star powered for. Make it useless. And there is the Noibats. We do have our boy. Let's get rid of the Arven. Let's go ahead and do that as well. And pass. We got Salvatore to evolve either into Bronzong or Noivern. Don't have an attack with Noivern though. We might just Iono them again. And they do have an attack with Entei to kill the Kirlia. Charizard. This is tough because they have the freaking Entei. All the decks that play basics and evolutions make this matchup so hard. Makes the matchups very hard. Because, like, you want to stop their evolutions, but then they have a freaking Entei V who can do massive damage to your stuff. Makes it hard. So I think we need to build up our Gardevoirs quickly. Hero's Cape, Great Ball, whatever. Can Hero's Cape. So what do we do here? Okay, we're definitely gonna Iono because you can't evolve this turn. I'm going to promote the Noibat because Noibat can handle Entei for the meantime. Top deck of a Kirlia is great. Attach that there. We have rods, so we can get rid of a Drifloon. I want to guarantee Noivern. Noivern can take a hit. We can Iono away the Charizard again. Okay. Not bad, not bad. Actually, do we Bronzong here, just in case? That seems like a better idea. It's Evolution Jammer, just in case they do have it this following turn. And we can evolve into Gardevoir after using Kirlia. We have a Bravery Charm for a Drifloon at some point. I think we're going to try to navigate this the best we can. Bronzong does go down, I'm sure. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, yeah, for sure. Energy onto Charcadet, capturing Aroma. Doesn't really matter if they flip heads. Just trying to slow them down enough so that they can't evolve yet. Radiant Zard, sure. That guy's going to be a problem too. Another Charmander and Aroma go down. Okay, they were pretty quick about the Burning Rondo, so I don't think they had an evolution. I don't think there's a reason to get anything else besides Drifloon. Bravery Charm onto that dude. Refinement away the Arven. Okay. What do I want to rod back? Kirlia and Drifloon, so I can get rid of the Mew. Seems fine. Get rid of the Mew, get a couple energies. I can attack with Noivern this turn. Super Rod back in these. I think we're going to Pal Pad back in the double Iono. Keep disrupting their hand as much as we can. Don't want them to evolve, obviously. Practice Studio helps, maybe? Get rid of those. Go grab a Kirlia. Only 2 energies, that's fine. Cover of Flight for 80. Hope they can't evolve this following turn. We've been Ionoing the crap out of them. It may have been, you know, it's kind of hard to say, but it may have been correct to get another Bronzong going. Simply to keep them from evolving even longer. There's an Armarouge. They do have an evolution, but that's okay. The Armarouge isn't really... We're not worried about him. Capturing Aroma. Hopefully they flipped tails. No, they flip heads, so they could have Rare Candy here. It's going for either Pidgeot or Charizard. Do they have the candy to evolve this turn, though? If they don't, I'm just going to Iono them again. There's the Pidgeot. Ooh, they might have Rare Candy if they got Pidgeot. They do have the Rare Candy. It was only a matter of time. Iono becomes less effective, but still somewhat effective. We don't have that good of a way to one-shot things. They do get a card. Do they have another rare candy Charizard? We have a boss. Go after Gardevoir, okay. I have the means to retreat Guardy, which is fine. Yeah, for sure. Salvatore doesn't do anything, so we're gonna Iono. I don't know if they use Pidgeot for the boss or not, but whatever. Okay, let's get rid of the practice studio. Hey, Drifloon. I don't want to play Drifloon just yet, but I mean, getting the KO would be nice. I mean, we could take the KO here with Gardevoir. I think taking the KO here with Gardevoir is good. We get 2 prizes. We have Ultra Ball for another Gardevoir. So I think this is okay. We'll take the prize here. The 2 prizes here. And we should be able to follow up with the Drifloon Hero's Cape to KO with a Charizard, maybe? Just maybe. They do promote Charmander, so that tells me they may have Charizard EX. Fire Energy onto the Radzard. Quick search for their missing piece. Here's the rare candy Zard. Okay. I think we can handle this Charizard with the Drifloon in hand. I think we can. Hero's Cape Drifloon I think can do it. We're powering up Radiant Zard as well. Arven. If that gets them another rare candy, we will play Eri for sure. Not sure what it'll get them though. Does this Drifloon? No, he only does 300. So Drifloon Hero's Cape is the one that's going to do it, but I also need energy in the discard. Oh, lost. What was it? Oh, they put a Hero's Cape on Charizard. Frick. They can't KO the Noivern. Playing that to check the deck here. Okay. And that's refinement away the energy. Don't want to play the Mew because that's just an auto loss. Can I hit enough? Three, 6, 9, 12. No, it's more than that. So 100 damage is 300. 120 damage is... What is that? I don't know how much that is. We can only get 100 damage though. So then we just go ahead and cover flight. Cover flight here, that puts them down to 350. I think Drifloon can do 350. I don't think they can KO the Noivern. Super Rod's fine. Oh, they bring back Entei. That's annoying. Entei's not going to be able to do any damage, though. So we KO Charizard, then we KO Entei or something. Armorooge can do damage to me. Charizard's not KOing. There's a quick search. They're down 2 rare candies. I don't know how many they play with in this kind of deck. If they don't play a card off of that quick search though, I'm gonna Eri, I think. Because they're setting up for the other Charizard. Okay. So let's Ultra Ball out the Guardy. And then we can Refinement away Arven, since we're going to Eri this turn. Evolve there. Play the Mew. Throw away the Buddy Poffin. Play Eri. Ah. You got a boss. Dang it. They have a boss. And I don't think I have enough on this Drifloon to get the KO. I only have 5 energy in the discard. Needed one more. So not quite there. Not quite there. This is really tough. Guess I could have Turo'd the Noivern. But we're only hitting for 300. Charizard still survives. And that's GG's. So yeah, like I was saying, I wanted to show this case, show off this, showing you like how hard this matchups are when they have basics and non-basics. But that's why Drifloon is supposed to set off, but when it's Charizard and they have basics, it makes it that much harder. But anyways, tough matchup for us, but we tried our best. Maybe I had some better plays that I could have done, I don't know. Alright, another Ancient Box deck. They get to go first though, which is a little bit bad for us. I think we're going to play down 2 Ralts here. They did have to mulligan, and they do play 2 counter catchers, so I'm going to have to hand a boss, which they thankfully got rid of. Okay. Do I just play down 1? An Eri. Don't want to Iono either. Oh no. Play down a Ralts. Oh, I don't want to Iono, but I need the Noibat. Could Pokestop for it, possibly. But it could hurt. This deck isn't designed for a Pokestop. Oh, man. I hate to do this, but I kind of have to. Oh well, we'll see what these top 3 cards were. Not what I wanted, necessarily, but let's go ahead and get rid of those. Let's grab Noibat. We have another Iono for next turn. An energy for now. Pass. Okay. Not too bad. We got the Noibat, which is good. Having the Noibat down turn 1 is very, very important, especially since they lost probably their only copy of Boss. So we'll see what they're able to do here. They do have 1 energy in the discard. They get another Pokestop, Pokegear, and another energy and Pal Pad. So they could bring back the boss. Now we're going to Pokegear here, get an Explorer's Guidance. Okay. They play that. They're not attacking this turn. It's kind of bad for us. I want them to KO the Bronzor, and I want them to KO Noibat before I start attacking with Noivern. So I think I'm going to force them to do that. If they only play the 1 boss, I think I can force them into doing that. Unlike the last game that we saw me play where I retreated the Ralts to start attacking, because I was hoping to get into the Turo, but I didn't. This time I think I can let the Ralts go down. We're going to Iono them again. Hopefully they're only playing 1 boss. They're playing 2 bosses. My strategy is a little bit worse. We don't know though. I did see, so they did mulligan at the beginning, and I did see 2 counter catchers, so I'd be a little shocked if they played 2 counter catchers and 2 boss's orders in this type of deck, but you never know. You never truly know what they're playing. We'll find out here shortly. Powering up Koraidon, which is fine. Putting down another one, cool. Okay. Ultra Ball, not what I want to see. And another Iono. Didn't want top deck an Ultra Ball. Would have rather top deck the Noivern. Oh, we got the Noivern, okay. Got the Noivern, let's play the Noivern. And we'll pass. So now Noivern's not going to get one shot, and we're not going to take any prizes until they KO Ralts and Bronzor. And I'm just going to really hold the rest of my hand. I'm going to bank on the fact that they're playing one boss. And just kind of sit back, let them take the 2 prizes so that counter catcher's not a play. I learned my lesson last time with this deck. You have to keep in mind the counter catchers, and Noivern has to be the only Pokemon to play. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's Osada, so they do have an attack this turn if they power up the Koraidon, which they do. Perfectly fine with me. I want them to do that. We did Iono the Pal Pad to the bottom of the deck, so I don't necessarily need Eri just yet. Might be better to wait till they have a massive hand to Eri them. Did they play the Earthen Vessel this turn? Well, they just played another one, so Pal Pad can now be shuffled. We haven't seen a Great Tusk though, which is good. That's another problem with this deck. That's also what kind of forced me to attack last game too, was they had Great Tusk, so they had to attack it with the Noivern. See if they KO the Bronzor. Pokestop. There's Pal Pad. If they don't play Pal Pad, I'm going to Eri that. Do they play it now? They better play it now. Get that boss's orders back and force me. They don't. Perfect. Okay. Completely fine with that. We're going to Eri that Pal Pad away. Don't want them to have it. We're going to give them the Ralts. You can have Ralts. Let's go ahead and Eri. Take the Pal Pad away and the Super Rod. Perfect. They can have everything else. Get those recovery cards out of there. And pass the turn. I don't care that you KL Ralts. You can KL Ralts. You either KL Ralts or I'm going to find Professor Turo at some point. That's the goal. And then we got Noivern for the win, bruh. Adding Noivern to this deck opens up your matchup wins dramatically. You beat Ancient Box, you beat Futures, whatever Future Box basics there are. You handle those very easily. Then you got Bronzong that handles all the evolutions. The hardest matchup, I think, for this deck, and they just bench lock themselves, so no Great Tusk. The hardest matchup for this deck is actually Chien-Pao. I don't have a solid answer for Chien-Pao because we can stop them from evolving to Baxcalibur, sure, but Bronzong cannot survive a Chien-Pao hit when they get 2 energy. And it's just 2 turns and they get 2 energy, so you have to loop those. And then when they break the Bronzong lock, then you have to like deal with Baxcalibur, so it's a very tricky matchup to navigate. You need Noivern and you need Bronzong in that matchup. And like you need Bronzong to stall to set up Noivern so that Noivern can KO Frigibaxes. But they put 2 in play, it's very hard to deal with that. So now we're just going to Covert Flight for the win. We don't need to put anything into play. And we'll just start KOing our opponent. Hopefully we draw into a Turo at some point so that we have a way to pick up a Pokemon if they find a path to like having... I'm pretty sure there's a supporter that brings back a Pokemon either from your hand or the graveyard and puts it on the bench. I know there's one from the hand. Is there one that does it from the graveyard too? I'm not 100% sure. I think there might be. But there is a Echoing Horn. No, Echoing Horn rotated. I don't think that's here anymore. There may be a supporter that does it, but this deck definitely does not play that supporter. They could, however, be playing a Fire Energy for that Shred attack. Koraidon is versatile, man. You could use Koraidon to counter this deck, so they just pass. I don't think they have an answer. And that doesn't matter to us. We're just going to keep cover flighting, and they're going to concede here a little bit. Did you guys see that flickering of Super Rod and the energy? That was crazy. What's with this line? There's like a yellow card in their discard somewhere. Pass again. Colress. Take the KO on the Koraidon. Look, the energy keeps flickering. Alright. They might want to have space open for the Great Tusk. They could obviously be playing Great Tusk. They are down 4 ancient supporters. Practice Studio doesn't matter. We're just going to build up our hand. We have Iono to kind of put cards back into the deck if Great Tusk is something that they have. But I am kind of scared of the counter catcher put something from my hand onto the bench boss combo. But we did get rid of their Pal Pad, so they may not have that. But they do have 2 counter catchers. So my second area would come in handy right now. I am positive they have counter catchers in their hand. There's an Arven. That doesn't get me Eri. It does get me a Pal Pad. To put Eri back in. And our opponent scoops. There we go. I mean, yeah, there's no way around it for them, which is good. Another dub. Thank you for sticking around to the end of the video. And as you saw, we handle basic decks pretty well. We can handle evolution decks just as well as we do basics. But what we can't handle is a deck that has both. It is really tough for us to do, but there are ways to do it. You just have to, things have to fall in line for it to happen. But oh well, we tried our best against that last Charizard, and they were able to get the win there. Tough for us. They got the Pidgeot out when we didn't want them to. But anyways, enough about that. We'll see you next time on Crash Play Gaming.